All right, AKA Padders. If you're new here, very simple. Another known as Peter A. DeLuca. That's where we get the name from. And welcome back. Another Saturday. Another. Look, my phone is updating. I hate it when my phone updates. But another Saturday, another round of unknown, maligned, hated G.I. Joes. Now, the worst part is I had one. Oh my God. I love it so much. It's like one of my favorite intros. And for some reason it's not rendering with enough it's the file's not small enough to upload to StreamYard, but we will be, hopefully by next episode we'll be premiering the GI Joe intro going into one of these. And I have to say it's subversive. I love it so much. But cheers again to all of you. I got iced coffee just because we had a little bit of a busy morning earlier this week. If you tuned to my wrestling stream, I tried to kind of add to the sketchbook, and I had the idea of doing like an all black NWO sketchbook. And you can even see here, like, this was supposed to be Eric Bischoff, and we tried, like, I'm not joking, like, live. I mean, I went through all of my white markers, and kind of like what happened was I just couldn't get it going. I just, like, I've tried to analyze it so many times. I drew him twice. It looks more like a negative than the drawing, and I don't know. I did this a few years ago, and I thought that these Uniballs were going to work perfectly, but they don't. They really don't. So after that, I jumped on this. So I had this in I have some sketchbooks on file, not many, because I like to do sketchbook projects one at a time. So I jumped on this, and I bought this one. This is a Crescent Creative Products render, no show through paper, no show through, like, that's the important thing. But they had spray paint here, and I was just like, oh my God, like, does spray paint hold up? Well, we're going to find out. But the complete black, like, there's so much black ink on this and whiteout already for Hollywood. I'm debating on doing something very similar to what I did for last year's Juneteenth, which was the all blue, the Disney blue sketchbook. I'm debating on painting the back pages also. So we're going to be going through some of that, and we're going to probably have stencils for here and a lot of stuff. But we got Eric Bischoff right here, and you guys can see some of my, the technique, if you want to call it that. We're just having fun with some of the texture here, and I wish you guys could feel this, because this feels like one amazing page here. This is one of the things I love about sketchbooks, is that they kind of come to life as you work on them. Here we're going to have Scott Hall. We're going to have Kevin Nash, the Outsiders, Millionaire Ted, and I'm back and forth on if I should do like a close-up with him and the money, or just him kind of. I don't know. I'm back and forth with the post, but that's as far as we got. So upcoming, already promoting this coming week's streams, we will be doing some of that, which I'm excited for. And then upcoming, the next video drop today, and I wanted to kind of stick with the special effects show and tell, because we do kind of like show and tell Saturdays. I was pretty into the idea of just doing a couple things of wrestling. I don't have a lot for wrestling for show and tell, but I was just recently going through this. And so yesterday, I dropped the Ultimate Warrior comic book episode. And like, this is really important, because the way how they get into how he came back to WWE, and there's like, letters from his family, from the people who worked with him. And Triple H, I give Triple H a lot of credit in this intro, because he, he kind of calls it as it is. very much straight shooter, like very much. And again, like just his trials and tribulations through the company. They touch a little bit on WCW. They don't do his Greek appearance. He had a somewhat of a like internet match pre Hall of Fame, but they really attribute. Look, they even own up to the self destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, but they really attribute all of it to this the 20K game where they got the rights for his like image back, where they reached enough of a agreement, like 2K14. Which I guess like I kind of forgot. I forgot how significant he was getting into that game and how much of a selling point. So from that point, it was Hall of Fame. They were positioning him to be a ambassador. They did the whole the Ultimate Warrior Award. So really, kind of like preparing a lot of the bad blood. And then we're here. Speaking of bad blood, we got Raptor. I want to color Raptor. Previously, we have Ice Cream Soldier, Captain Gridiron, two ideas for Captain Gridiron, Hardball, and DJ. DJ was last week. I just want to get this out of my way and kind of, we got WrestleMania in the city. There's WrestleMania things happening everywhere, and not that I'm going to any of them outside of tomorrow, but I have like other things to do. I got stuff to do in the city, and yeah, it plays with how we move around. So we'll just keep going. Keep going, keep rocking and rolling with some of the controversies in the world of YouTube and comics specifically. We will be doing, we got stuff on that coming, so I know a lot of you pop in to kind of see what any of those updates would be. And I have to say, complicated matter, nobody wins in any of the, like on any side, on any position, any angle, nobody wins. Yo, what what is dangerous 2028 presidential candidate? Is this John Mallon? John Mallon, by the way, I know there's like a lot of accounts out there that like I know there's like EVS accounts. They're like CG accounts, but they're not EVS. But dude, that is hilarious. But yeah, thanks. Thank you for. Thank you. This again, Raptor is just the idea of a like just a bird dude in like a military setting, dude. And there's just something about that idea. And going into some of these, I tried to do some research. Like if you think the internet has everything you need, there's so much like controlled search right now that I would have no idea if someone did like a blog entry on the extended media history of Raptor here, meaning like the times he was mentioned in the comic, the times he appeared on like this series or that cartoon, and like I don't know, and I tried to research it, but I don't know if Raptor here got comic book time, which is really weird because you kind of want to say he's like a psyop from Dr. Mindbender. But yeah, and we're like, this is really just going to be just more of a refined sketch. I'm kind of curious on some of the colors. We're still building into what I view as like the art direction for this whole series, and by art direction I mean with the attitude of the line work, the attitude of the coloring, a lot of these like intangible things that people like don't recognize, and that's, to me, that's strong art direction. I'm not sure how other people define it. Not that I really care, to be honest. Yeah. If you ever worked as an art director, uh like you learn quickly that it's like you kind of have to know a little bit of the application, right? Like kind of like the medium, if it's going to be commercial, video, like that sort of thing, right? And then from there, um, like you kind of just have to be stern with what the idea is, what the consistency is, and just how to maintain it. And that's really the value of an art director. Is that you know enough about the medium and the materials, and you can kind of maintain like a level of continuity. But we kind of want these like subtle. And my first instinct for this whole series was to do it in the style of I always forget his name, but whoever did the Metal Gear Solid concept work, that dude, um, I still remember the first time seeing that, and I want to say it was shown to me by this other artist. His name was Victor Roa, and I knew him from Philly, and he was like really into the anime stuff. Like back when like kind of the people that potentially could be a little bit off were the animators. Well, I guess that I guess not, that really hasn't changed, has it? Yeah. And then it's like we come in. So some of the line work too. It's just like like what are we? Sometimes the line work can kind of get in the way. Like if you don't really know what your direction is, you almost waste the line work. I normally wait until like I get deeper into the black and white stage. I don't even call it the inking stage because this to me is not inking. But I usually get a little bit deeper. But I get anxious sometimes, and I just want to know like that. This stuff is like a little bit decent. So let's just kind of. One second, I'm trying to dig up some reference. because I'm not sure if Raptor here had like an update or like a second action figure. Because I thought there was a figure where his jewels. It might have been a custom. Let me just look. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. Yes. But I really want to get into the more detailed versions of these very soon. But that's kind of like what we wanted to. Like, we just want these reds to really pop. And anyone out there, like, if you don't think doing like the sketch work or like the like kind of like the invisible work, if you don't think that like pays off in the long run, just like in the long run of producing your work, it's hard to kind of convince you otherwise. It's just one of those things, like, you have to kind of do it. See, so here, like, this is one of the problems here. Like, this shoulder area, like whatever like this shadow area, that's a botch. That's a botch. So let's just kind of, and we got plenty of whiteout markers here. And we'll just kind of do. These ones are water based. They're not oil. You want to go with the oil. The guy told me, he's like, these aren't oil. And I said, well, it's like, I don't really know. I really don't care. I just need. Oh, sorry. I'm looking for one of my open whiteouts. I can't find it. Oh, right here. Right in front of me. So we kind of we'll do that. There's so much of it all that like you can. It's like you ruin what happens on a subliminal level. Sometimes. Just ruin it. And not enough, like, again, it's like these are hard lessons to learn sometimes. Here we go. Just want him to look as like structured and deadly as possible. That's the fun of it, because like you are kind of just turning this idea of a ridiculous character, like a joke. But it's like you spend enough time with like other characters and just just being entertained, but reading, studying, like kind of like the back and forth, because that's the mundane part of like kind of like building up a like a mental catalog. You want to be almost like your own Wikipedia, but like you spend enough time doing that, you kind of learn that there's no like there's no crappy character ever. Even though like some of these articles and like BuzzFeed or like Screen Ranked, like like they kind of want like put out these ideas that it's like the top 10 worst X-Men or something. But like if you spend enough time in the dirt, there's no such thing, because you just have to wait for the right creator to come and like touch it. And that's a big part of what made the 90s uh, so electric, is you just felt like, all right, like like no one's reading Namor. Jay Lee, like boom, everyone's reading Namor, or Moon Knight with Stephen Platt, and the list goes on. And that's like a big part of the 90s that people kind of want to gloss over at this point. But it doesn't mean you kind of go the route of DC. Oh, geez. Yeah, I hear you. Well, only a little special horsey. Sean, what is happening? Sean, I hate to say it, we're struggling a little bit with this one. Just there's a lot that I'm not happy about. Here we go. Give him a little bit of a snarl. We'll just get back to the Mr. Malin. Nice. We'll keep that there. So some of this too is me getting better with like shooting the leg like this way, like for sure. And Sean, dude, thank you for all of the comments and support, dude. Appreciate it. I really do. I do. Yeah, so it's almost going to be like one side of him, just like completely red. I just think that looks so cool. And that's all. That's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to make things look as cool as possible. Bingo, bango. Yeah, and like part of just one of my suggestions is don't be afraid to be like get aggressive with forms that are kind of like mashing into one another and maybe like confusing things a little bit. Like it's okay to kind of make things into a silhouette or like just back away a little, like use some of the horizon or some of the atmosphere. I mean, not horizon, atmosphere. To kind of break it up. Let's get into a scratch pad here. We're just going to use our Five Below markers. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, definitely be afraid to be naughty because you don't know who you're talking to all the time. Nothing is innocent. So we're just kind of. I don't know if he has a red amulet, but guess what? He will now. Use some of this like double lighting here. Yeah, but that's like kind of right. Like that's where we're stepping. This is what we're stepping into here. I think week by week, it's like the ideas are getting there. Yeah, it's not every day. The neck, the neck, dude. Hey, the neck. Did I ever show you this? Let me grab something real quick. So I was at a thrift shop a couple months ago, actually buying old Spectrum Stadium seating, and I got this. I know I showed it on here before. So this is one of my absolute weak spots when it comes to uh kind of like my library. I think Ric Flair has 3 books now. I think this was his second book because his first book was the ACW days, and it was kind of like a very thin paperback. Might have been like 200 pages. But anyway, so I was at this thrift store, and this just caught my eye, and yeah, it was like $20. But here we go. Are you ready? Look at that. Like, come on, dude. I don't know why. I was so, and I don't think it was priced because I think this was like the whole shelf, everything was like $3. That's usually the price of hardcovers in used bookstores in Philly. It's like $3. But yeah, it's signed. So I always like the design work for this era of WWE, WWF biographies, like this stuff. Like this is just sweetness right here. And but I wanted to do really more of a deep dive on all of these books. So the next one on my list is Eric Bischoff. Look, here's his son. Hard stuff, man. You know, he has not had. People want to act like he is, easy life, dude. Ric Flair's been punished as much as anyone. Yeah, and then I was debating uh changing this whole like little project of mine into a changing it to a sketchbook. Yeah, it's there's I want to say there's at least 3 biographies for Flair. Like I guess like 2 I'm confident of. I'll get them for sure. Like, and then I think I'm still trying to work on ways to bring more of the library into the channel. You know, just kind of out of, uh, like how to position the content. Like, like what am I really trying to say? For years, I've been debating doing like reviews only or book discussions only for like LinkedIn, and people would kind of have to go to my LinkedIn for that stuff. What still might happen because I've been on a deep dive of technology books. I just got this AOL book that I am like loving. Keep in mind, everyone, we're using dollar store pencils here. Let's get back to the presidential candidate. It's not every day you get a presidential candidate rolling through the stream. And he is like character wise, this dude is like brown on top of brown. He doesn't have like a welcoming palette either. And there's something about like a smeared pencil with color, like with the colored pencil like on top. I love it. And colored pencils are great because your mind can just wander as you're using them. They're like almost like therapy. If you need therapy, but then again, right? Who doesn't? Who doesn't need a couple sessions? Right there. That's our boy. Looking deadly, and that's the way we need them. You need this guy looking like it's like not only looking like he can take off your head, like if he wanted to, but kind of like he needs to be able to make you disappear. Like he's not being sent into a room, and this is like the fun side of some of this. It's like you get to kind of play with what scenario fits the character, like fits the idea. Like this would be kind of like a duel between him and like Tunnel Rat, the sniper, or the I don't know the or even like Outback, the survivalist, where like who's hunting who type situation, and then like all of a sudden like Outback just disappears. Like that's kind of where, and you kind of want to say, if we go into like the lore, which I kind of like, that's another buzzword that I'm getting sick of saying. But if you go into the lore, you kind of want to say if this guy is like he's a genetic mutation, right? Like he's like a part of this experiment. Kind of falls in line with Serpentor and Cobra Law, like for sure. So like there's ways to add, like as we work on something. This Sharpie too. I love uh, ending the lives of Sharpies, right? I think anyone that spends time at the table for a extended period of time, there's a pleasure in going through art supplies, right? Like, cause it means you're productive. It means you're doing things. Oh, sorry. We have. Sorry, Nick. I wasn't scrolling down. Yeah, 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 right. Yeah, he was. Yeah, kind of. Uh, Yeah, kind of like him having like his own like bird's nest, right? Of just like almost like the babes for like Fade and in Dune Part Two, like they're like cannibals almost, like you know. I wanted him to have really big traps, though. Like, yeah, just because he's like pushing those wings down. Not that it means that a like push down or swoop motion really builds those muscles. Like his lats would be like way bigger, but like it's just it's almost like you sometimes work a lie into your piece where it's not true, but you also know people would expect it. So like like you work a lie into what you're doing, and that's real. Like there's just there's a lot of psychology when it comes to drawing. Well, yeah, I think we're there with this one. I think the coloring kind of brought it to life. And I love that this is like just completely destroyed paper at this point. I just like throw it around. We're not preserving this. I love it. I think we're kind of there. And what is happening? Like I never feel like the camera is high enough anymore. It's going to complete some of this. And I think we're going to call it, guys. Not bad for a Saturday. We did get a presidential candidate, one presidential candidate, and one I don't know, maybe troll. Not really sure. It's hard to tell sometimes. People just have a sense of humor, like I don't know, kind of even because we don't like sense of humors anymore, right? That's a little bit of um, the modern world. Like we don't, a lot of people out there don't like sense of humors. But not bad for a Saturday. We have to make up for Turtle Soup Thursday, even though I promised. And, uh, you know, and then like last night, no makeup, like couldn't really, well, Last night was me crashing out, and the night before was running out of time. So yeah, but I think once we get into a rhythm of really doing like 2 to 3 videos a day, get into an easy rhythm of that, and then yeah, I mean we're gonna be streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning. So that's the lofty goal. All right, AKA Patterns. Love hanging out with you guys.